Hi, my name is Dr. Nardia Adaman, and I'm one of the physicians of Central Ohio Primary Care. And I am here with
Nathaniel Adaman.
And Nathaniel and I are going to review one of these books that's listed on our Great Beginnings Book Club site. It is called Planet Omar, Accidental Trouble Magnet by Zanib Mian, illustrated by Nasaya Mafaradik. And it's a great book. I love it because the color is red, and red is my favorite color. And it also has a really great message for young readers. All right, and so Nathaniel, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the book?
Well, it's about this kid named Omar. His mom got her dream job, and because of that, they had to move to a new neighborhood, and Omar's not excited about it. Like, he's thinking, like, he's worrying, like, what's school gonna be like?
Right, a new school, right? That can be scary sometimes when you have to start afresh and find new friends and go to a new school, meet new teachers, right? Good. And so if you had one word to describe this book, what word would you use and why?
Adventurous, because this book, like, in the entire book,
He goes through different adventures.
Yeah. Like at the end where they're having a class trip and they get lost and try to find their way back to the class.
Yeah, he goes on lots of different adventures throughout the book. All right, what would you say would be your most favorite part of the book? And I'll tell you mine as well. Go ahead. What do you think is your most favorite part?
Miss Rogers fell and Omar's mom went to help after she heard the ambulance siren, and then the hospitalist, I'm gonna say, carrying her out on a stretcher.
Right. So, Mrs. Rogers was their new neighbor, right? And she didn't really like Omar and his family, right? Because she thought they were Muslim, and she had her own thinking of the type of people that they were, which was not right, right? And so when Mrs. Rogers fell down, she didn't have anybody else to come and help her, right? But Omar's mom decided that she was going to go over, even though she thought that Mrs. Rogers didn't like her, she was going to go over and try to help her out, right? So that was your most favorite part of the book?
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, I would say that my favorite part was when Daniel, the bully, had gotten lost with Omar, and Omar had to go and figure out a way to find their classmates on their school trip. So that would be my favorite part. Again, Daniel being the bully, everybody thought he was so mean, but he turned out to be a really nice kid, right? And they had a great relationship at the end. And it turns out that Daniel was being mean because he had a difficult childhood. So his sister had a lot of chronic health problems, and so the parents had to spend a lot of time with her, and he felt left out. And I think the way he expressed that was by bullying the other kids at school, right? Okay, what was your least favorite part?
When Daniel bullied Omar and Charlie.
When Daniel bullied Omar and his best friend. Yeah, that can be tough, right? Have you ever been bullied?
Yes.
Yeah, I think lots of kids have been bullied in school, right? It can be very hard and very difficult to deal with. How did you deal with the bullying situation?
Well, I spoke to them.
Okay, so you sat down and talked to them. That's good. You got to know them a little bit too, just like how Omar got to know Daniel, right? Good. And so how would you say that you can relate to Omar? What are some similarities between you and Omar?
Well, we both have wild imaginations.
You have wild imaginations, that's what you said? Okay, What else?
We were both fighting against bullies.
You also have siblings, right?
Yeah.
Because Omar has a younger sibling. What's his sister's name? Is it a sister or a brother?
Sister.
Okay.
Miriam?
Yeah, so Miriam, I think, is the older sister, and Issa is a younger sister. And Issa would tell on Omar quite a bit and get him into trouble, right?
My sister tells on me a lot.
And gets you into trouble. Yeah. Okay. And then would you tell your friends about this book? Do you think this is a good book for your friends to read as well?
Yes, just in case they have anything bothering them with the bullies or anything.
Okay, yeah, and then they can see how to deal with it as well, just like how Omar dealt with it, right? Okay. Well, what would you say would be the moral of the story? What point do you think the author was trying to get across by writing this book?
Not to judge a person before you get to know them,
Right.
and speak to them and know about them.
Yeah, so getting to know people, right? We can't judge people by their religion. We can't judge people by the way they look. We have to get to know them because it's what's on the inside that counts, right? And I think there's a great excerpt from the book that I'm going to ask Nathaniel to read. It is on page 200, and you're just going to start right here and right there so you can give our listeners a taste of this book. Go ahead.
The mosque is great because you get all types of people all in one place, and you're usually sitting still for a while, so it's the perfect place to people watch. One thing I figured out is that some people have the kind of faces that seem quite perfect. They have a straight nose and maybe good skin and nice lips, but they still don't look nice. I wouldn't want to be stuck in an elevator with them, and they definitely don't smile a lot. Then there are other faces that might have skin that's a bit bad, and maybe their nose isn't the prettiest, or their beard grows in funny directions, but they look really nice, and they smile loads. I've thought about it a lot, and I think it's all to do with what's happening inside people. If they're always having nice thoughts and are good and kind people, they always look lovely no matter what. And if they're awful people with rotten thoughts, they'll look horrible. Daniel had been smiling a lot nicer since we got lost together, and his face was definitely looking much nicer.
His face was much nicer because he is now a kind person, right? All right, so there you have it, a taste of our wonderful book, The Planet Omar. And it's actually a series, and this is one of the books in the series. So go check it out. Go check out our Great Beginnings Book Club website, and there you can see this and many other books that are handpicked by our pediatricians. Thank you.